Life has a way of surprising us, and sometimes that means finding ourselves single again. But at Single Again with LFA and Barbs, we believe in embracing change and finding beauty in every moment.
Join our community of strong individuals who are ready to take action and create a life they love. Together, we'll navigate the twists and turns of being single again, finding beauty in every moment. So whether you're redefining your goals, finding new passions, or simply seeking connection, let's embark on this beautiful journey together.
Search for Single Again with LFA and Barbs on your favorite podcast platform. It's time to embrace a single again status and live a life that's lively, encouraging, and beautiful.
Single Again
with LFA and Barbs,
where your story
begins.
Hi, Bob. How are you?
I'm good. I'm still here.
And still single again.
Still single. Trying to do the thing that I need to do. Yes.
Please.
Yes, indeed.
Please.
Mm.
Yes. Yeah. So today we will be talking about navigating the journey of being single again. I'm going to start with me.
Yeah.
I'm going to put myself on the hot seat today.
Yeah, why not?
With me, I remember because my ex did not, have a conversation with me that, hey, it's not working again. What do you think we should do? Should we separate or should we divorce? It didn't give me that option. So I got to learn that I was being divorced by, I don't know if they do that in London, but here in the US, lawyers will send you letters or mails informing you. Yeah, It was through one of those services. The lawyer just sent me a mail informing me that, hey, your spouse has filed for divorce. Absolute.
The same process here.
When I saw it, because usually I'll receive mail, from the USPS.
Yeah, we agreed that we're going to go and get divorced. And then one of you go to the solicitors. Yes.
So when I saw it, I was like, divorce? So I quickly went online, like, okay, let me search to see. And I couldn't find it. So, and I have a few lawyers that are like sister in Christ, or, people that I look up to spiritually. And she's a lawyer. I scanned it and sent it to her. And I scanned it and sent it to my cousin, who is also a lawyer. He practices here in the US. And when she saw it, she called me immediately like, where did you get this from? I am like, well, I just got it in the mail. And he was advertising his business to me because he wanted to
represent you.
To represent me. And she said, give me a minute. She went online, she searched for it, and she said, that is true. And, he filed for it while I was away with the kids on vacation. That was a surprise for me. Surprise. And he's been making some statements that I'm like, what is this guy trying to do? But to cut a long story short, I sat down there. First thing first, I was in celebration mode because that was what I wanted anyway. That was what I've been praying for, And then I was like, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to do it? Who do I talk to? How do I go about it? And I think for me, that was the most scary time because I was, after assessing my feelings, like we said in our last episode, that yes, I want out. Yes, if he said he wanted it, I'm ready to give it to him without contesting it.
Yeah.
If it was reasonable. And I think that was the most scary part for me. How do I navigate this? Who do I turn to? I couldn't call anybody in church because I am like, a lot of people will say, well, we knew it wouldn't last anyway, And I remembered, and I remember it was even in the church then that somebody said that, oh, like I used voodoo on him. I know, right?
Okay.
And that was a scary time for me, but I am so super grateful for the people that were there at that time for me. I think after I told the lawyer, the next person I called was my friend, like, hey, it happened. So that was the most scary for me. I don't know about you, Barbara. I don't know if you want to.
I mean, I think this is the thing about navigating the journey once you're in there, you're stepping out, because it becomes a personal package. You could be the person who instigated the separation. So you've already pre-planned it in your head. You know who you're going to, how you're actually proceeding with this separation without considering the other person, like your partner didn't do. So he was the one that initiated it, processed it, and took it to. They didn't even get to a place of where let's decide we're going counseling, and then somebody says this is a irreconcilable relationship. We need to move it to divorce. That didn't happen.
No.
Most of us, it could happen that you're the one who's leading, or majority of people, you feel you're here because you've been turfed out. So your journey is different. It's always depending, are there children involved? No children involved. What is the financial ties? What's the accommodation issue? Who would go where? Sometimes relationship persists and domestic abuse falls. You're financially tied.
Yes. And I think that's why a lot of women, that's why a lot of women will stay in the relationship. And even men.
Yeah, because if the divorce is proposed, like the document is sent to you, and this man say, I have the upper hand and I need you to sign it. You're reluctant to sign because where will I go when I step out? So the journey for all of us is going to be very different because it's very personal. In my case, I got out, took my children, went to the council. In the meantime, I mean, he was in a space where, for me, I didn't feature on his list. It's about having affairs and doing things that makes him happy. And then I'm sitting at home holding the fort and struggling. I walked out, took my 4 children at a time, went straight to the council and say, I can't stay in this abusive relationship anymore. I need to be supported. It was horrible because it was now completely different lifestyle to what my children have been used to.
Yes.
So I have to now stand in the gap to make it, to cushion it for them. How I'm coming out to do all these financial things that I have never had the responsibility for. Now I have. And I know I'm not looking back. I need to go forward. And you go to the council in the United Kingdom, yes, you have you and children, so they'll find you somewhere. But is it really where you want to be?
You want to be, yes.
And they have limited resources because the whole locality of where you are, there's a massive number of people
that needs the resources.
Never been used, and I have never been used to relying on social. How do I go here from there? How are my children going back to their own particular school where they have a group of friends or families who are of their own standing? How do my children navigate themselves? What is the peer pressure for them now that they've left their home? And so the journey, it is a dangerous, it's so difficult,
risky,
depending on the individuality. Yes, I have a lawyer. Getting the solicitor is not a problem. They want their money. If in this country, if you're getting a divorce, you can even say, even I started the divorce. If I started it, I would say, okay, can you put the bill on him? Because I don't have the money. So you can ask him to pay. And if he wants to, he wants a clean break, he'll just take it and sign it off. And if not, that one is another area you're looking at. So it is a difficult journey because once you step out there, as you say, your children are there. You're there. If you don't have children, even if you don't have the children, whose name's on the car? Whose name's on the insurance document? Who's covering what? How are you getting yourself properly out of it? So
and that's a lot of things that come into navigating the journey. And now is the decision-making proper stage. I have assessed my feelings. I have contemplated this. Now I am in the post-contemplation stages where the change is taking place. Now, how do I maneuver this route? And
Yeah.
how do I make decisions that is life-changing, not only for me, especially when children are involved.
Yeah.
You're making
And you
decisions for
see,
yourself.
yeah, then you need to look at the network that you have around you.
Absolutely.
Is the
Absolutely.
network not necessarily your immediate family,
Oh,
but even if
no.
it's your immediate family, do you have people around you who
Yeah.
are commonsensical? Not
Yes.
somebody who will pacify you and tell
Mm-hmm.
you, oh, may the Lord bless you. The Lord will protect you. It will be
Mm.
well.
Mm.
It takes
And
substance
doing
to
nothing.
be well.
Yeah.
You know, the lingo doesn't make you well,
It doesn't.
because I stepped out. I was put in an accommodation that for 2 nights I didn't sleep. I'm crying in my bedroom. So when I come out and then I call you or you call me and I'm talking to you, you will never understand what I'm going through. As much as you try, you will never be able to stand in my shoes. So for me, when I'm supporting somebody who is coming out of a relationship, I'm very, very conscious to make sure that it is actually their story, not me saying I did it this way, so you do it that way. I did it that.
Yes. No, we
No,
can't, because
no.
like you said, my journey is different. We are on the same path,
Yeah,
but our exit route is
yeah,
different. I am coming from driving on 695 is
yeah,
a highway.
yes,
I am coming from exit 30. You are coming from exit 17.
exactly.
Some
Yeah,
other person is coming from exit 1.
yeah,
So the route is different,
yeah,
but on the same journey. We are
yeah,
on the journey of being single again. We are on this path of navigating, but how do I go about it?
yeah.
Some people, like you said, it's easy.
Yeah,
Um,
because the immediate question to that person for me is, you're going through this. What is it specifically you want me, or you
to
believe I can
do.
help you? I'm not going to impose myself on you. I don't know
Mm-mm.
it all. It's your life. I can never know your life. I can
Mm-hmm.
never put my standing in your feet. So, what do you think that is really, really, really critical for you? Let's talk about it. And
Yes.
even in talking about it, I want it to be your decision. Don't be saying you should do this. That way is better for you. You know what? According to the Bible, you've got. No. If I don't already have the Bible in me, that the Holy Spirit is in me and is infusing me and is helping me through this, that
Mm.
particular time that you're coming to preach to me,
It will
you're
not
like a
suffice.
sounding brass. You're like
Yes.
a sounding
Yes.
brass in my
Yes.
ear. That's not
Yes.
what I want to hear.
Once that decision is made and you had walked out of the house, and I can remember this from suggestions, then the first thing is, do you have a lawyer? Because I wasn't served on time, and the advice was, have you been served? That was the first question I remember. Like, no. Do you know when you will be served? And the lawyer was like, oh, you should be served before the end of this week, or you have a certain number of days to be served. And once you're served, do not sign anything. Just in case you are out there, if you know you're going to be served, please do not sign anything without talking to a lawyer first. Because I remember I was like, look, I'm just going to sign it. I don't want to
And get
linger.
out
I
of
don't
it,
want,
yeah.
yeah. But thank God I did not sign it. Because if I had signed it, I would have signed my whole life away.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why the letter came from a lawyer.
Yes.
Why is it that you can't have your own? It means
Yeah.
that person, by their own authority, couldn't have just given you something and say, I need you out and it's okay. Because they had to go through the legal system. You have immediately been put into the legal system.
Yeah.
So you must also find a defense.
Yes.
And sometimes we think, oh, there's not much in it, so I'll just let it go. No. Due diligence never hurt to be.
Yes, and there is much to it, because when you are being served, there are some language, some technicalities in the way that divorce serve is reading, that if you pay attention to detail, you will ask yourself, like, for real? Why is this person saying this about me?
Mhm.
So the first thing first, navigating it first is, I think you have to ask yourself, is this a legal battle, or
Yeah,
is it something that we can just separate?
out of court. Yeah,
Some folks are very lucky. It's not like in the movies, like, okay, we both know it's not working out, let's just agree, you keep the house, you keep the car, you keep this, you keep
yeah,
that. No, it's not like in the movies. Some folks are lucky. They're just like, okay, you know what, it's not working. I would do this to support that family, and you can go and rent a house, I can keep the house, or I'll just walk away. Some folks are lucky. But knowing our African people,
mm,
pause for a few seconds there. Mm-mm, they don't let things go. And I don't think it's only African people, but I think
no.
because that's
That's what
that's
I was gonna
that's
say. It is
what
the
I'm
nature.
exposed to, the
Yeah, the
nature of
nature of
the
the
beast.
beast. Yeah, yeah. Well, I
So
mean, when it
please.
comes to separating, I think even the person that I have this saying that I say to people that even in a crust of a relationship, I always believe nobody marries a person they hate. Okay.
Yes,
As
yes.
soon as you've actually held my hand and want to put a ring on it,
On it. Mm-hmm.
you really love me to the core.
Yeah.
Yes, it didn't go the distance. I don't come back and think, oh, you hated me all along. No,
Mm.
you know. So it is there. So when we come to the part where we want to separate, yes, they care about you. They're now very, very, very. And then they said a woman scorn, So it is the same thing. A man or
Mm.
woman, at the end of such is at the end of their tether, will
Mm-hmm.
fight for everything they believe belongs to them.
To them. Mm-hmm.
That's what the battle is about. So
Yeah.
I walked away, left the house, everything, and it was a lot of people, huh? The woman never does that. You took the 4 children, and I said I know the reason, because where mine started from, I was afraid for my own life. So
Mm.
therefore, that was a time whether naively thinking, if I have life,
Mm.
whatever God has given to me, He'll give me again. So it was a very difficult journey, but
Yeah.
definitely not just be dismissive and let things, sign and just pretend it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Somebody saying go
Oh
and get a
no.
lawyer, you don't want to get a lawyer. You actually have to. You get a lawyer and then let the lawyer tell you there's nothing in it. So don't worry about it, just
Yes.
sign.
Yes.